On the news, over 40 people killed in midnight attack on Zike community in Bassa, Plateau State. Governors reject coalition plans ahead of 2027 elections. And House of Reps sets up 19-member oversight committee amid Rivers State emergency rule. Welcome to News Now on TV360 Nigeria. I'm Simisola Adigun. We begin in Plateau State, where at least 40 people have been killed after armed men stormed Zike community in the Kwal district of Bassa local government area, north-central Nigeria. According to reports, the brutal assault began in the early hours of Monday, with the assailants shooting sporadically at residents. Community leaders say vigilantes responded to the attack and repelled the assailants, but not before 36 people were killed, with 4 more dying later. Some other residents sustained gunshot wounds and are receiving medical attention at the hospital. The latest attack comes less than 2 weeks after 52 persons were killed in some communities of the Bakwas local government area. Other victims were killed in the villages of Rui, Manguna and Dafo. And following the explosion of an improvised explosive device attack along the Damboa-Maiduguri highway in Borno State, Governor Babagana Zulum has reiterated his administration's resolve to decisively eliminate the remnants of Boko Haram and prevent any resurgence of insurgency in the state. The governor made the statement during a visit to victims of the blast who are currently receiving treatment at the hospital in Maiduguri. 8 others died in the incident. The explosion comes just days after the state government raised concerns over the increasing attacks on military installations and the continued occupation of Marte, Guazamala and Apadam local government areas by armed groups. Reacting to recent remarks by the Federal Minister of Information, Governor Zulum dismissed them as uninformed, saying that the minister lacks a proper understanding of the security realities on ground in Borno State.
IED explosion between Maiduguri and Damboa Road. But unfortunately, the road was closed for about 1 month. And I believe this is one of the reasons why the insurgents have decided to come and plant IEDs because of lack of vehicular movement along the road. But I want to advise the communities to be resilient enough. I want to advise the Nigerian army to be resilient enough, because there's no way people will travel a distance of 700 kilometers to go to Damboa. Ordinarily, from here to Damboa is only about 100 kilometers. So I'm aware of what has been happening, but I believe the matters arising shall be dealt with, and then we shall strengthen the resilience of the community, but we shall ensure that movement from Maiduguri to Damboa should continue. This will not deter us from following the road. Urge the Nigerian military and all other security agencies to beef up security along the road so that such incidents will not happen again.
In Lagos, 4 of the victims of Friday's explosion at a closed-circuit television dealer's shop in the Ikeja area are said to be in critical condition. This comes after 1 of the victims died on Saturday. The Lagos State Police Command had earlier confirmed that 5 persons had been injured in the explosion, which occurred around 6:35 p.m. Police Public Relations Officer CSP Benjamin Hundeyin added that the 5 individuals injured during the explosion were taken to the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital for treatment. In politics, governors elected on the platform of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) have dismissed speculations of a possible merger ahead of the 2027 general elections. The governors reiterated their positions at the 2025 PDP Governors Forum held in Ibadan, Oyo State on Sunday. The chairman of the PDP Governors Forum and Governor of Bauchi State, Bala Mohammed, who read the communique after the meeting, said as a major opposition party, the PDP will welcome any other party, persons or groups that are willing to join the party with a view to wrest power and enthrone good leadership in 2027. Well, let's get reactions to the PDP's rejection of a coalition. A chieftain of the party, General Deyemi, joins from Ibadan, the Oyo State capital. Thank you very much for your time. Now, what's your reaction to the unanimous resolve by the PDP governors against joining any coalition or merger ahead of the 2027 elections? The party, however, says it will welcome other parties, persons or groups that are willing to merge with it.
The governors actually spoke the minds of virtually all the members of PDP. Because if you look at PDP has become a brand in Nigeria that cannot be erased in whatever form. Yes, there may be itches, there may be crises here and there, but that is not to say that you can underrate what PDP stands for or what PDP is. So if other political party, group, or whoever wants to join the party, they are all welcome. Not that the PDP as a political party will be submerged in other political parties. We are a brand name. If you look at APP, if you look at NNPP, they are child of PDP because their leadership emerged from that from PDP to form, all these political parties. So if there is going to be a coalition, what the right thing is for them to come back to their home, which is the PDP. And that's exactly what the governor are saying. And we believe that they have spoken the minds of all the PDP members in the country.
Now, it's obvious that the PDP is keen on retaining its spot as an opposition party. But in light of its challenges, which you also mentioned, can the PDP withstand pressures come 2027?
Just like I said, 24 hours is a long time in politics. And don't forget that very soon we'll be having our national convention where we'll be electing new officials, to manage the affairs of the party. And for the mere fact that the governors are able to come together and meet, deliberate on the futures of the party, gives us give us the hope that all the crises will be resolved very soon. There's no political party in Nigeria that does not have its problem here and there. Even the ADC, the APC, the ruling party, they do have their crises, everywhere. The Labour, the NNPP, there's no political party. What makes a political party stronger is the ability to manage whatever is the crisis. How long it may be, how tedious it may be, how bad it may be, we still come back to the round table to resolve our issues. So as far as 2027 is concerned, we are getting ready and we will, reset our brains.
Mr. General Deyemi, thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us as always. We appreciate. Moving on, in the wake of the state of emergency declared in Rivers State, the House of Representatives has announced the formal inauguration of an ad hoc committee on Rivers State oversight scheduled for Tuesday, April 15. The move follows the National Assembly's approval of President Bola Tinubu's emergency proclamation. The House spokesperson Akin Rotimi disclosed the development in a statement on Sunday, saying the move is in line with Section 5 of the State of Emergency in Rivers State Proclamation 2025 and pursuant to Section 11(4) of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to monitor implementation and ensure that governance in the state remains within the bounds of constitutionalism and rule of law. The committee will be chaired by Honorable Julius Ihobere, while Honorable Ali Issa will serve as deputy chairman. Meanwhile, the Rivers State government has expressed disappointment over the decision of the Nigerian Bar Association to relocate its 2025 annual general conference from Port Harcourt to Enugu and is demanding a 300 million naira from the body. In a statement issued on Monday by the Senior Special Assistant on Media to the Administrator, Hector Igbi-Kuobil, the Rivers State government acknowledged the NBA's right to choose its preferred venue, but faulted the association's suggestion that the current administration, headed by a sole administrator, is undermining democracy and the rule of law. The Rivers State government further explained that President Bola Tinubu had acted within the confines of his constitutional powers when he declared a state of emergency in Rivers State, following what it described as a collapse of democratic institutions in the state. And the decision of the sole administrator of Rivers State, retired Vice Admiral Ibok Ete Ibas, to appoint sole administrators for 23 local government areas in the state is generating a lot of reactions. The move has sparked debate over whether he has the power to make such appointment, but the local government administrators have already assumed duties, while the issue is now a subject of litigation. TV360's Joy Uchejim has more on the story.
The appointment came less than 24 hours after a federal high court sitting in Port Harcourt had issued an order restraining Ibas from appointing local government area administrators. Despite the court order, the appointments were made, raising questions on the respect for the judicial processes.
The situation now in Rivers and actions and pronouncements of the sole administrator of the state points to the fact that the sole administrator is now playing politics. He seems to be overreaching himself and be playing politics of Rivers State by the actions and his pronouncement, because he seems to be upstaging, thwarting and removing all the existing structure that was planted by Sim Cobra, and replacing them with structure that are loyal to Mr. Wike. That is the opinion of people of River. I'm not on ground, but his actions, I know, goes beyond his mandate. The mandate was to hold peace in Rivers and not to upstage the structure. So, but what he's doing is that he's removing every appointee. So, are they not people? Are they not Rivers people? So, what is the ground for removing almost all the appointees that were made by the governor? So, if anybody wants to argue that the people who believe that he's playing politics are not correct, what else is he doing? The mandate says, keep the peace in Rivers.
Ibas is due to appear in court to explain his action, but the issue is raising broader concerns about the potential erosion of democratic principles within the state.
There are always actors in place ready to exploit any signs of conflict. And the most important thing is to help the people develop solutions and ways to resolve it. The sole administrator has the primary responsibility to build confidence and do fence mending measures across the board. He's not there to judge one side as being right, side as being wrong. And I can understand why my colleague thinks that he's being political in that case. Because if he takes action that doesn't seem to consider how other people, the different perspectives in the state, you face this kind of consequence.
Meanwhile, Ibas has explained that the appointment of the 23 administrators was informed by the urgent need to strengthen governance following his personal assessment visits. He described their appointment as a recognition of their leadership capacity and commitment to public service. Joy Uchejim, TV360, Lagos.
It's time for a break. Still to come on the news, Gabon Junta Chief Brice Oligui Nguema wins presidential election in provisional results. We'll give you details shortly. Welcome back. Let's take you through our major stories. At least 40 people have been killed after armed men stormed Zike community in the Kwal district of Basa local government area of Plateau State, north central Nigeria. According to reports, the brutal assault began in the early hours of Monday, with the assailants shooting sporadically at residents. We also told you that governors elected on the platform of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) have dismissed speculations of a possible merger of parties ahead of the 2027 general elections. The governors reiterated their positions at the 2025 PDP Governors Forum held in Ibadan, Oyo State on Sunday. In case you missed any of our news bulletins or for more updates, you can catch us on Limex World TV and AVO TV or log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram and YouTube at TV360 Nigeria or download our mobile app on Google Play Store, Huawei App Gallery and Apple Store. On Facebook, we're at TV360 Online.
Corruption not in my country.
Cut. All right. What's your name again? Kemi?
Yes, sir.
Good. Are you ready for us for next week?
Yes, sir.
Next.
No, sir. No.
What? Look, what we need here is one who can speak fluent English. Give her a chance.
I need a angel to hold me. Hold me, my beautiful angel.
Cut. It is Angel, not Angel. Please, I'm done with you. Excuse us. Kemi was far better.
It's not about our rendition. It's not about our performance here. By the time she and her friends join us in our hotel rooms, you will know how far.
Can I have her phone?
She has a robust profile.
Real robust profile. I do not undercut professional ethics. It is an act of corruption. Not in my country.
Corruption not in my country.
Stop corruption.
Let's get some more news on business. Victoria Konde has the latest.
Thank you very much, Simi. Welcome to Business News. Now, experts have lauded the Nigerian government's decision to officially recognize cryptocurrency as a security under the newly enacted Investments and Securities Act, ISA 2024, describing it as a landmark development that will protect investors and reduce fraudulent activities in the crypto space. With the signing of the new Investments and Securities Act 2024, digital assets like cryptocurrency are now officially recognized as securities. TV360's Okpayemi Owosheni has more in this next report.
After years of regulatory uncertainty, digital assets now have legal backing in Nigeria. The newly signed Investment and Securities Act 2025 classifies cryptocurrencies as securities, placing them under the regulatory authorities of the Securities and Exchange Commission. The move signals a major policy shift for Nigeria, where crypto trading had largely operated outside formal financial structures. The Director General of the SEC, Emomotimi Agama, says the new law will boost investor confidence and strengthen the capital market. He also tells investors to expect a level playing ground.
Legal recognition is very, very important. It puts us at an edge over a lot of jurisdictions, noting clearly that digital assets has come to stay. And so it is very important that any jurisdiction that wants to play in it must have some legal backing around it. More so for Nigeria, where the population of youths in this country are heavily involved in it. So it becomes of utmost importance that some clarity is provided. Beyond clarity is some legal backing. To note clearly that registration is the hallmark of regulation. So we expect that everyone involved in this space will approach the SEC for such activity. For those that have applied, we are reviewing their applications. So the SEC is poised to providing transparent, level playing field for all those that meet our requirements.
Financial analysts believe the recognition of digital asset means legitimacy and acknowledgement for cryptocurrency in Nigeria. Other stakeholders say this will improve the trust and activities in the Nigeria Stock Exchange.
I hope that it's going to be a collaborative form of regulation, not just maybe one that is just seeking fees and perhaps conformance with the laws that have been passed, but very, very collaborative. The industry in Nigeria is very, very nascent. It's growing, but it shows a lot of potential. I think in the globe, we're like top 3 in terms of adoption for crypto assets and also for the tokens. So they need a regulator that understands that they are in the growth stage and need them to hold their hand and to guide them as they grow.
It's going to affect the Nigerian Stock Exchange in a positive way because more players will come in and the activities in the exchange will be on the upward swing because there's going to be more trust and confidence in the market, and investors can participate more than before. So the ISA 2025 is the way to go. I mean, it's going to deliver more excellent performance in the Nigerian Stock Exchange.
While the full impact of the new law will unfold over time, many see it as a bold step towards a more secure, transparent and inclusive financial market. Okpeyemi Owosheni, TV360 News, Lagos.
Still on business, China's exports rose sharply in March after factories rushed out shipments before the latest U.S. tariffs took effect. But an escalating Sino-U.S. trade war has darkened the outlook for factories and growth in the world's second biggest economy. U.S. President Donald Trump has hiked tariffs on Chinese goods to hefty levels that many economists say will profoundly impact global trade flows and business investment. Trump levied 10% tariffs across all Chinese imports into the United States, effective on February 4, and followed up with another 10% in March, accusing Beijing of not doing enough to stem the flow of fentanyl into the United States. Right now, we'll go on a short break and be back with stock market updates. Stay with us. Welcome back. It's the first trading day of the week and the Nigerian equities market closed in negative territory, declining by 0.03%. The market capitalization now stands at 65.7 trillion naira. In total, 128 NGS-listed equities participated in trading, with 27 gainers and 25 losers. On the losing side, United Bank for Africa recorded the highest decline, with the price depreciation of 11.33% to close at 31 naira 30 kobo per share, and was followed closely by International Energy Insurance. At the close of Monday's trading on the Nigerian exchange, over 428 million shares were exchanged in 14,583 deals, corresponding to a market value exceeding 10 billion naira. And now, when this is compared to the previous trading day, which is Friday, the 11th of April, today's data reflects a 13% increase in volume, a 4% rise in turnover, and a 35% increase in the number of deals. Now switching to the global scene, U.S. shares joined the rally in Europe and Asia on Monday after the White House exempted smartphones and computers from U.S. tariffs. Our selected indices, the U.S. Dow Jones, the UK's FTSE, and Japan's Nikkei, all ended in bullish territory, as you can see on the screen. Now over to the foreign exchange market. The Naira traded at 1,565 naira to the dollar on the black market, and at 2,015 naira to the British pounds, and 1,670 naira to the euro, still on the black market. That wraps up both business and stock market updates. Back to you, Simi, for the rest of the news.
Thank you, Victoria. And on the foreign scene, Gabon's military leader, Brice Oligui Nguema, has won the country's presidential election by an apparent landslide, according to provisional results. The Interior Ministry said on Sunday that Nguema, who led a 2023 military coup, had secured about 90% of the vote. His main rival, Alain Claude Benze, had won some 3% of Saturday's vote, according to the initial results. Nguema, who had been instrumental in ending 55 years of dynastic rule of the Bongo family, was widely expected to win the 8-candidate race. Following his victory, Nguema spoke to journalists in his first international news interview, promising to restore dignity to the Gabonese people. And elsewhere, South Korea's impeached former President Yoon Suk-yeol has denied charges of insurrection as his criminal trial opened. The ousted leader argued in the Seoul Central District Court on Monday that his declaration of martial law late last year was not a coup d'etat. Yoon was formally stripped of office earlier this month after being impeached and suspended by lawmakers over his December 3 martial law declaration. If found guilty of insurrection, Yoon could be sentenced to life in prison or receive a death sentence. And on sports, Nasarawa United has been slammed with a 6 million naira fine and banished to Gombe State for their home matches following an attack on a Plateau United player, Vincent Timitokwe. The Plateau United player was assaulted, leading to cuts on his neck after some Nasarawa United supporters attacked him in a Nigeria Premier Football League game on Sunday. In a statement on Monday, the NPFL said the Solid Miners breached the rules of the football body for failure to provide adequate and effective security during the game. And Nigeria defender Bruno Onyemaechi has won the Greek Super League title with Olympiacos. The Red and Whites claimed the title after a 1-0 victory over AEK Athens on Sunday. Morocco international Ayoub El Kaabi scored the decisive goal for the hosts 10 minutes after the break. With 3 matches remaining, Olympiacos holds an unassailable lead at the top of the table with 66 points. Well, that's it on News Now. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you again next time.